In this video, my acquisitions manager Dan and I are trying to do a novation deal. What is a novation, you may ask? A novation lets a seller lock in a guaranteed price while we, as the buyer, handle the sale and share any profits above that guaranteed price without the seller having to do any work or take any risk. This is an actual conversation, a behind the scenes look at the decision making process at Queen City Buyers. But this isn't a deal making video, this is a problem solving video.
Dan, we're live in sunny
Great.
Buffalo, New York.
It's sunny. It's trying.
It's trying. So real quick, we're going to discuss 48 Garner.
Yeah, so this is a cold call lead. So we've got our cold call service reached out to these folks based on some criteria. In this situation, it was a seller absentee, vacant property, non-owner occupied. And so the seller, gentleman named Eugene, really nice guy, used to live in the house. There he is.
Yep.
He moved to Lockport with his family and he kept the house, and it was always going to be a rental, and he never got around to making it into a rental. So it's just always been vacant. We reached out to him at the right time and he said, yeah, I'm interested. Let's see what we can do. Come take a look. Very often. So we scheduled it for November, did a walkthrough. I liked the property. It's it's in a good location, I think, on the Upper West Side. It's got decent curb appeal. It's a nice street. Nice neighbors. This guy was super friendly. I sensed a lot of motivation. We had great conversation. We were able to get out of him what he owed on it. He owed between 70 and 80,000. He didn't have the dollar figure, but he's like, I owe about in the 70s, between 70 and 80,000. That checked out when I got back to my desk. PropStream's usually able to pull that stuff up for me. It's all public record. So he owed about 70, 80. And he had a high level of motivation. He didn't indicate, he did indicate that he wanted to be, he mentioned 130 or 140 on to the cold caller, which I thought was like, okay, that's a good entry point. So we went back, we reviewed it. We kind of realized, like, realistically, we need to be, 120, kind of 130 tops to make this work. The ARV is probably 200, 225. You got to put a couple dollars into it realistically. Not a lot, but you got to clean it out. You might want to put some paint on the wall, some light fixtures, some very, very light cosmetics. And once we reviewed it, you factor those light costs in, you factor in the transaction costs on the front and the back. We do have to be in the very low hundreds on a purchase. So actually, you and I sat down. I presume, like, I don't think we can get to this guy's number realistically.
Right.
It needs to be at 130. We need to be like 100 to make this work. Just when we factor in those transaction costs, the rehab costs, even though they're light, to make a decent spread and to invest that kind of capital, right? I mean, you're putting like $130,000 into this improvement that's locking up a lot of capital. The returns got to be there for that to make sense. So
right.
You actually came up with, well, maybe there's a creative approach here. Let's see if we can, come up with something creative, whether it's a seller finance scenario or like a novation, what we now will call a concierge listing agreement, kind of like a creative approach. So I bounced back to him and said, yeah, like, we've got, this is what we can offer you. I don't think we can get exactly where you need to be on a straight purchase, but what if we came up with something kind of creative? Where we can get you the number that you want and create kind of like a profit share on the backside so that I can get you very close to the number I think you need to be. And it turned out he did want to be closer to 160 on it based on what he thought he could get after having the conversation. So ultimately that was his expectation, was, like, to walk away today, I really want to be at 160. To buy it, we really need to be at 100. What if we can kind of split the difference here and guarantee you 140? Anything beyond 140 we'll see as a profit share. And then you as the seller, and us, we'll share the costs of any improvements, anything that we have to do, the real estate commissions, everything comes off the top, and then we split the difference. And he was into it. He said, that sounds great. It sounds like that gets me what I want. We kind of did the simple math. Like, look, if this thing sells for 200, 220, we guarantee you the 140. There's a $60,000 to $80,000 spread there. You take off some commissions and some improvement costs. So take $20,000 off of that. So you're looking at a
Yep.
$40,000 to $60,000 split at that point. So there's decent margin, right? So that landed him on his 160. So in his mind, he's like, all right, I can get to the number I need, and there's some gravy on top, and I don't have to do anything, right? We'll take care of the listing. We'll do the kind of the lifting. We'll bring in an agent. We'll evaluate what repairs we need to do, if any. We'll see if we want to stage it, and we'll get you the best bang for your buck on the property, and you can hang out in Lockport and not have to come into the city.
Absolutely. So we enter a legally binding contract to purchase the property at 140.
Exactly right. Yep, a purchase and sale agreement. So it's not a formal ML contract. We're not like purchasing it. There's no EMD. Um, but yeah, we have a purchase and sale agreement created between us and the seller for 140. Exactly. He's represented by an attorney. We hooked him up with an attorney on this, and we buy it for 140. And then in that purchase and sale agreement, we structure the profit share agreement. So all the bullet points are included in a paragraph, and in a portion of that. To where, yeah, it's like we're going to split the commissions, we're going to split the closing costs, we're going to split any repairs necessary, including PINA, like if there's repairs that the bank requires from the end buyer, and then
Right.
we split the profit. And then we sign what's called an attorney in fact agreement, where we're the attorney in fact, and so we can essentially make the decisions on the listing, right? So we're like an agent plus.
Yeah. So we put the property under contract, where the idea was if we closed on the house, we'd have a ton of, well, you have significant closing costs to purchase it, like Queen City just directly purchased it.
Yep.
So we would pick up more cost, transfer tax, title, survey, etc. So by doing the novation, he's guaranteed the 140,
Yep.
and then gets to purchase. Then we're splitting the upside. So if it sells for 200, you mentioned 20,000 commission, cleanup, light cosmetics. So that brings it down to a 40. What is that? It's what is the split then? Because it'd be
Yeah, it would be if it sells for
30.
200. Yeah, that'd be a $40,000 split, so 20,000 for each. So that got him right to
Correct.
his like baseline number. And why that's kind of like a win-win is there's no capital risk here. Yeah, right. There's no,
Correct.
like, we're not buying anything. We're not parking the capital anywhere. We're not taking the risk on what if it sells for less. Um,
And
and
we're taking
right,
on all the headache of listing, preparing,
right,
even some of like the missing light fixtures that need to be addressed, smoke, COs. He's getting the concierge service. He doesn't have to do a
right,
thing. He will get
right.
his 140, and we're splitting any of the profit beyond 140.
Exactly right. And why that makes sense is we're set up for that. I mean, for us to do that, to do a listing and do some light work, I mean, that's probably one day of work. We've got the contacts to get a cleaner in. We've got the contacts to get that work done in an afternoon. We've got agents in the brokerage that can handle the listing. Like, that's all right. And for him, that would have all been new. It would have required driving to the property. It would have just been
Yeah, meeting
like
with people,
that's not his
following
space.
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
not
kind of
his
hitting the
space.
easy button. This is the easy button.
Easy
These
button.
guys have a reputation. They're serious about their business. They're not fly by night. I can trust entering an agreement with
Yeah.
them, getting the right legal representation for himself, and this should run like super smooth.
Yeah,
So
and it was all legit. I mean, we had the attorney reach out to him, walk through the contract. I mean, it was all very above board, very legit, right? I mean, he's like he felt very comfortable. Right, he felt very comfortable with the way the transaction was structured.
yeah, so now it's like as far as what this property can sell at given its current condition, this will be fascinating as it unfolds to see what
Yeah,
price we can pull because we have comps, between
yeah,
187 to 291. Obviously,
yeah,
we probably won't hit 291, but this house has a ton going for it. It's 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bath,
yeah,
not even counting whatever's going on in the basement because you got 1646 in square footage. So it's a
yeah.
nice a nice size property, it would be in the top 10% as far as square footage on these comps. There's only
Agreed.
one comp that's has more square footage.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean those top three comps right there are 3 bed, 1 bath. So we've got lesser bathroom, lesser bedroom, smaller square footage, and those all. I mean, what's the average? The average on that is 262, right? So yeah, I mean, we look at our bottom line ARV and the bottom line per square foot. Like I landed and I discounted it because there's a shared driveway. That's kind of the biggest downside, right? We've got a lot going for the house has a lot going for it. There is a shared
A
driveway.
shared driveway, right?
That's a negative. I mean, city of Buffalo parking is not as important as, if you're out in like a suburb where you kind of like need parking. Um, but it is a shared driveway, so that's a downside. So yeah, I mean, I slightly discounted it, but um, I see no reason this shouldn't comp out in the 220s to 230.